Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a news cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. The Senate has confirmed Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN. Kekere-Ekun had been acting in that capacity since August, sequel to the retirement of Justice Olukayode Ariwola. Her confirmation followed President Bola Tinubu's request in a letter transmitted and read by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio during plenary. President Bola Tinubu has expressed his readiness to reshuffle his cabinet. The president also charged his ministers not to be media shy, but go out to publish the activities of their ministries. Addressing the press conference at the State House in Abuja, Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, lamented that so much is being done, but Nigerians are not aware. Imo State Independent Electoral Commission has issued certificates of return to the 27 local government chairmen across the state. Chairman of the commission, Charles Ejogu, says the event is in line with the Electoral Act. Imo State correspondent Amarachi Ibe now completes the report.
This is Imo State Independent Electoral Commission, ISEC, in Owerri, capital of the state. The Commission's office is filled to the brim as politicians and well-wishers come in their numbers to witness the collection of certificates of return by the elected 27 local government chairmen across the state.
The Commission will formally hand over certificates of return to the council chairman. And what has just happened in Imo State is a concrete demonstration of the will and determination of the people.
Some of the elected chairmen expressed joy.
What are the expectations for more work, more responsibility, more commitment, and most importantly, to prove and justify the confidence in the
Political analyst says the occasion is in line with relevant provisions of the law. Recall that Saturday's election witnessed the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, sweeping the local government areas election by winning the 27 local government areas across the state. Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
Kano State High Court has issued an interim injunction restraining 19 political parties from taking actions to stop the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission from organizing and conducting the upcoming local government elections. Presiding Judge Justice Sanusi Ado Maji delivered the ruling following a motion ex parte filed on September 20 by Kano State Independent Electoral Commission, the plaintiff in the suit. The Nigerian Army has refuted the allegation of sexual harassment by ex-private Ruth Ogunleye against Colonel Ibrahim Abdulkarim and other personnel of Army Medical Corps Lagos. This rebuttal was made by the Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Oyema Wanchuku, while addressing journalists in Abuja. Kikelamo Okere has more.
It is crucial to assert that the Nigerian Army, in its bid to ensure justice and transparency, conducted an exhaustive review of the facts, testimonies, and evidence presented. The investigation concluded that Colonel I.B. Abdulkarim did not commit the offense of sexual harassment as alleged by ex-Private Ruth Ogunleye. The findings were definitive and based on objective evaluation. Sexual harassment further concerns about Ruth Ogunleye while the army was addressing the allegations of sexual harassment. Further concerns about Ruth Ogunleye's conduct came to light. Her behavior both online and offline raised questions about her worsening mental health and emotional stability. Consequently, the Nigerian Army referred ex-Private Ruth Ogunleye for medical evaluation at the National Hospital in Abuja, following earlier assessments made by the Nigerian Army Medical Corps that suggested potential mental health concerns.
Well, thank you, Kekelamo. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has given the federal government a 14-day ultimatum to resolve all several lingering issues. ASU is seeking the conclusion of the renegotiation of the 2009 Federal Government of Nigeria ASU agreement based on the NIMI BRICS Committee's draft agreement of 2021, as well as the release of withheld salaries due to the 2022 strike action. ASU President Emmanuel Osodeke, in a statement issued, expressed frustration with government's lack of commitment and delayed tactics, stating that these actions are fueling crisis in the public university system. Chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, has described corruption as a cancer that has severely affected the performance of the education sector. He noted that the lower levels of the education system have been the most impacted. Aliyu, represented by Grace Agaibe, made these remarks during a workshop organized by the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria in Abuja. Aliyu attributed corruption in the sector to a lack of transparency and accountability. Oyo State government has announced the clearing of over 153.11 kilometers of blocked drainages and culverts across major roads in Ibadan as part of efforts to prevent flood disasters during the rainy season. Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Abdul Mojid Mogonju Bola, disclosed this in a statement by Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Dotun Oyelade. And still in Nigeria's southwest, nurses in Ondo State have urged the state government to review their salary structure in line with what has been done for other professionals in the health sector, warning that the disparity could lead to disharmony within the system. The nurses, under the aegis of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives Ondo State chapter, expressed their concerns at the 2024 Ondo Nurses Week and Scientific Conference held in Akure, the state capital. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says 10 communities have been displaced by flood following heavy rains in Shanghai local government area of Kebbi State. Aliyu Shehu Kindagi, the head of operations of NEMA Sokoto office, made this known when he led a joint assessment team to the affected areas. He noted that the incident left no fewer than 2,000 people homeless who had no option but to flee to safer areas. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the money laundering case against former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) until October 30, 2024 for a ruling. Justice Emeka Winte granted the adjournment following Bello's move to appeal to the Supreme Court, seeking to overturn the arrest warrant issued by the trial court on April 17. During the hearing, Defense Counsel A.M. Adoyi informed the court that the matter of Bello's arraignment, which is under appeal, had been taken to the Supreme Court. You're watching News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When news cycle returns, Central Bank of Nigeria threatens sanctions against banks failing to dispense cash through automated teller machines, ATMs. Details of this and more for you right after this break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle with Uyi Agumofwegbe. Thank you so very much for your time with us. Now to business. The federal government may spend about 236 billion naira monthly to subsidize the premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, that is imported through the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited and one that is solely off-taken by NNPC from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. President and Chief Executive of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, called on the federal government to end fuel subsidies completely. In the meantime, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has urged the federal government to increase its shares in the Dangote Petroleum Refinery from the current 7% to at least 45% to enable assurance and energy security. He says this would secure further energy assurance and security for Nigerians. The value of foreign exchange turnover via the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, also called NAFEM, increased to 15.74 trillion naira, which is $9.90 billion in August of 2024. This came as the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, revealed that foreign inflow into the country increased to $585 million in the same month. Also at the official market, the value of the naira dropped to 1,658 against the United States dollar from the 1,659 it sold at on Monday, while black market sellers had sold at the rate of 1,670 naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced plans to penalize banks that do not dispense cash through their automated teller machines, also called ATMs, as part of its efforts to maintain adequate cash circulation. The Apex Bank's governor, Yemi Cardoso, stated this during a press briefing at the end of the 279th Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja. Cardoso emphasized that all deposit money banks must ensure availability of enough cash for withdrawals at all times. He noted that the Apex Bank has set up a monitoring system to ensure compliance, stressing that any bank not adhering to this directive will face penalties. The Federal Executive Council has approved the economic stabilization bills. These bills, driven by recommendations from the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, chaired by Taiwo Oyedele, marked a critical step in government's accelerated stability and advancement plan. On the foreign scene, China's top diplomat Wang Yi has pledged to support Iran in safeguarding its security against external forces. In a meeting with the country's new president in New York, Beijing's foreign ministry says Wang met President Masoud Pezeshkian on the sidelines of the annual UN General Assembly. Beijing said as Israel launched more strikes against Tehran's ally Hezbollah in Lebanon. China would always be a trustworthy partner, the foreign minister said. Meanwhile, China says it has successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile carrying a dummy warhead into the Pacific Ocean. Defense Ministry said the ICMB was launched and falling into the expected sea areas, noting that the test launch was routine and part of its annual training. The type of missile and its flight path remains unclear, but Chinese state media said Beijing had informed the countries concerned in advance. Australian Olympic swim coach Dick Kane has died weeks after he was found guilty of raping and sexually abusing 6 female students. Kane, who had been in palliative care for terminal cancer, died on Wednesday morning at the age of 78. Kane was charged with 39 offenses committed against the teenage girls in the 1970s and 1980s. The assaults took place at a swimming pool in Sydney, in his home and in his car. The 6 victims were due to deliver their victim impact statements at a special hearing in December, but this is unlikely to go ahead due to Kane's death. Tropical storm Helen is strengthening in the Caribbean as it heads towards Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Meteorologists warn Helen could turn into a Category 3 hurricane before hitting the U.S. Gulf Coast in the coming days. The U.S.-based National Hurricane Center says that Helen was expected to pass the northeastern coast of Yucatan in the coming hours and hit Florida late on Thursday local time. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for almost all of the state's counties. And now time to bring you some excitement from the world of sports. France World Cup winner Raphael Varane has announced his retirement from football at the age of 31. Former Real Madrid and Manchester United centre-back Varane had joined Italian club Como for this season, but was then excluded from the Serie A squad, having suffered a knee injury in August. What an early age retirement. IBB International Golf and Country Club has unveiled plans for the 2024 edition of Independence Cup, a golf tournament organized annually by the club to celebrate Nigeria's independence anniversary. Unveiling the plans at the press conference held at the boardroom of the club, Vice Captain and Chairman of the organizing committee, Chief James Eromoseli Agbonhese, said the week-long activity will begin with the caddies and staff competing for trophies and other gifts. Four-time major champion Naomi Osaka says she did not want to have regrets after confirming she has teamed up with Serena Williams' renowned former coach Patrick Mouratoglou. Former world's #1, Osaka, now ranked 73, defeated Lucia Bronzetti of Italy 6-3, 6-2 in the first round of the Women's Tennis Association 1000 China Open, with the Frenchman Mouratoglou in her player's box. The 26-year-old Osaka split from Belgian coach Wilm Fischetti this month as she attempts to return to the form that propelled her to the top of the women's game. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself up and try again, the same. And that's a full cycle on the news, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on DSTV channel 365, start times 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Uyi Agmofwegwe. Thank you for watching. Coming up at top of the hour is Big Talk with Edika Michael. Have a great time watching.